Hi everybody, welcome back to the UBU cast. Today's topic is going to be about safety and prevention in Bradford. We are going to talk about other topics as well, surrounding students and so on and so on, but we're just going to be talking about safety and prevention. And we have two guests today. I'll let them introduce themselves. Starting with Ayman, yeah?
Hi, I'm Ayman. I'm the Education Officer of the Students' Union.
Yep, lovely. Oh, sorry. Let's do that again.
I'm Ayman. I'm the Education Officer of the Students' Union.
And this is?
Hi, I'm Samera. I'm the Student Affairs Officer, also from Students' Union.
Brilliant. That's what we're here for. These guys have been a big campaigners of safety in Bradford, have you? Would you say that? Would you say that you've been big campaigners?
Yeah, so obviously student safety is a big thing on our agenda because if the students don't feel safe, then what are we promoting here at Bradford?
You do hashtag never okay, right?
Yes, so that was the first campaign that I worked on, and that was to do with harassment around students and not generally just on campus, but in their lives too. And that was the first one that we launched at Freshers, and then we're currently doing like a couple of spin-offs from that coming into second semester. We're
waiting for that. We are waiting for that. That's gonna be good. So I just wanted to ask some questions today, just like on the topic of safety. Do you believe that like students are safe in Bradford, if anything?
I think looking at it statistically, we have heard that students might feel more unsafe in Bradford than they would in other cities, but there are places that people would feel worse off. It depends on which area of Bradford as well. The area that we're in right now isn't that the university is in, this BD7 district isn't the
BD7,
safest. Yeah, you could say it's not where you'd feel the safest, but on campus there are precautions taken so that students are made to feel safer. I'm not sure on whether that works or not.
Well, that depends on the students, innit? Because, like, what do you think, Samera? Do you think like students are safe as well?
So at the beginning of the year, there was like a survey or something that was conducted, and from that, the students didn't like the darker areas on campus, especially when it comes around to winter. So what we did was, especially on like Great Horton Road, starting off from the one end of the campus to the other towards Bradford College, we've improved the lighting on Great Horton Road to put lights in the trees and the pavements, just so that students feel a little bit more safer and just feel like they're more visible as well on the roads.
Well, like within Bradford, like I realized there's a lot of accommodations just like planted everywhere, so students have to like walk to different places and so on and so on, and like students have got like houses in like around the campus area. So do you think like there should be even more precaution taken, not just by the student union or anything like that, but just by the government itself, just like to just know that there's students in our central area and they need a safer passage home from like instead of dark areas and stuff like that?
I think one place that they have improved on is where they have the fairy lights on the trees across Great Horton Road. Yeah, so near, I think the main area of Great Horton is a lot more brighter than it was before, but there still ends, near Bradford College.
Yeah.
And I think like down further up where Shimla's is, that could be, that it needs to be lighter.
Yeah, because there's Foster Square up there, isn't it? Foster Hall, sorry. Yeah, Foster Hall up there.
Yeah, so those are all areas where students have actually come to us and complained about actually some serious kind of attacks that have taken place around those areas, and you wouldn't blame them from feeling unsafe, even if they haven't dealt with something themselves, to just have to go through that darkness and know that something's happened there. There are some places where they could take more precautions.
Yeah.
We would always recommend like traveling in groups and stuff like that. Like if you're going to and from your flat, like sometimes if you're revising late in the library, it's always good to have somebody with you.
Someone that can walk back with you.
Yeah.
Because I've even as a student alone, I'm walking and I'm seeing girls walking alone, which is not like okay. I don't think that it should, but I don't want to say you shouldn't be walking alone, because I know that you're capable of taking care of yourself, but again, I'd still care for your safety enough to say that you should walk with someone. So they should. So how can someone get help from the UBU in case of like a harassment claim or anything like that? Where could someone get that help?
I think the first place if anyone had any problems, obviously not immediately, that you have the security on campus, and there's actually an app that you can use to get security right next to you straight away.
Yeah.
I think Samera will talk more about that later. But if it's something that's already happened and you're wanting help to recover from it, we do have the advice centre that is next to the Students' Union reception. So people can come there and book their appointments, and they can have as much time as they need to talk about how to go forward from the incident, or if they want to be referred to counselling, then we can help them with that as well.
Yeah, because even though there's like counselling and all that, and like the help that they can get, is there any way that they can see, because most of the students just want someone to be found and be accountable for their actions, I guess. So how would you see someone like, we do have on-campus police, right?
Yeah, we do have a police officer. He's called PC Preston. You see him walking around a lot within the Students' Union and the atrium.
Yeah.
And he's there just for you guys, just for the students. You can feel free to go up to him and talk to him anytime. And I'm pretty sure he has like a work phone as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to get his number and you'd be able to ring him as well.
Anytime.
And yeah.
That's good. Yeah, like you were saying about that app as well, that prevention app. Could you talk more about that?
Yeah, so Safe Zone is an app that the Sabbs launched last year, just towards the end of their year. So it's available on Android and on Apple. And once you download it, you'll see that there's like 3 main buttons. The big central one, I think, is the help one. Yeah. And if you press that and you're within like on campus and it stretches out towards Laystridge Lane as well, where our grounds are. Yeah. So if you're walking between those areas, the cameras that are in those areas will turn and face you. Mm-hmm. And also it will send a location out to security. So that security will come to you, and if you're in need of help at that time.
So yeah, guys, if you want a prevention app, please download the Safe Zone app. I've looked at the reviews though. They need to fix some bugs on there. The reviews, they need to fix some bugs on there. But I still say better safe than never. So do download the app if you need more safety on campus. So do you think that we can? What do you think can be done to help more on safety in Bradford? What do you think can be done more? You said about lights, but a lot of students have been getting harassment from people driving in cars, the safety of speeding cars, and so on and so on. Do you think that there could be anything else that could be done? More speed limits, I guess, and because we are a student area, so.
There was a campaign that we did at the beginning of the year where we collaborated with Bradford College and the police officer, PC Preston, and they did like a couple of rounds up and down Great Horton Road, like between Bradford College and Bradford Uni. Mm-hmm. Like that's where the main people are targeted, where they're getting catcalled by people in cars and stuff. And they said that even just by being there, like having a presence there in the daytime, it did decrease the numbers of people doing that. Just because you see a person in uniform and you feel a bit intimidated, you're gonna watch your actions a bit more. So I feel like that did help. So I think, but that was just like a temporary thing. So maybe just try and get like a permanent like member of staff to just walk around at peak times, just to make students feel a bit safer. I think that would help.
A lot more. It would. I feel because as a student, I don't think I could go up to like a member of like a police officer and say like my problem at the moment. I have to like if I call them, they will definitely show up. But like if I want to talk to them, if I want to run to them and say I need your help ASAP, I can't find them, especially on campus. So like the security, yes, that's perfect, but for police officer, it's a bit more. You feel like it's a bit more helpful than just a security officer. A security officer, yes, to escort someone off, but they can only do so much. Police officer has a lot more authority, and I feel like that will be a lot better. What do you think?
I think, I agree with you. And another thing that comes to mind is there's actually been a project that's been going on for a few years from the public, and it's called Better Bradford. And it's actually, there's a local from Bradford, a lady who had started the campaign after recognising all the drug abuse and all the speeding and all the kind of the things that might somebody feel unsafe on the roads of Bradford. And so they do different things, from protesting to fundraising to, you know, different kind of events to raise awareness and how it affects the residents of Bradford. So she did approach us at the beginning of the year, and she asked us for any way to support her in that. And I think we like shared her project on our platforms. And but if anyone was feeling passionate about making Bradford a safer place,
a change,
that's the place to support, because they've got like a massive volunteer group that are already aware of this, and they're trying to make that change.
Yeah, I believe that there should be change as well. Yeah, because like when I was at the Green, I believe like the Green is like the university little baby. And I believe like it's a bit too open. If I'm correct, it's like the public can. I'm not scared of the public at any time, but like the public can get involved with the Green so quickly. They can walk through. When I was at the Green, people were just going through my rubbish, like, you know, down in the area. They just go through and pick up like stuff that I've thrown away. I'm like, that's a bit unsafe. So I have to be like cautious about my letters and all that kind of stuff. So I was. So do you think like the university should be a bit more cautious about how open they are with the accommodation, especially when there's freshers and stuff like that? You think they should be a bit more cautious about? Like,
I'm glad you like highlighted the point, because I've actually never thought of it like that before. But I think you're right. I think we should have it like, now that you're talking about it, it's like access from the open road, and it should kind of be a little bit more closed off, because just so that, you know, like you have that, like you might be seeing people just like even walking through campus just because it might be a shortcut, but they shouldn't be able to do that.
You know what I mean?
It shouldn't be that open.
It's an establishment. It's like a paid establishment that you come to pay for, like your student card and everything. I know like students can't access building, but I've seen like legit children like coming through with their school uniform, just walking through SU. I'm like, is it open there? It's not open there. Just children walking through SU just to go home. So I'm like, it's a bit weird. But I don't say that children shouldn't be able to walk through. But I'm just saying like, well, if your children, the other year, we witnessed an attack in SU, where people started stealing from the actual shop. They caught them obviously. This, I think it was just before everybody broke up, and I was working there in the shop, and then someone broke in and stole like loads of coffee. I don't know what they're gonna do with coffee, but they stole a load of coffee. I'm like, that's a bit weird, because I've never seen like any SU I've been to. I've been to Leeds, I've been to Hull, and all that kind of stuff. I've never seen them so open, with like people walking in, and the shop is just there, and it's right next to the door. So it's just easy to get access. So I don't know. Maybe it should be shut. And
I
just
think
use student
what
card.
our university is quite aware of is that our students are not just here for their learning experience, but it's also kind of a social experience. You know, like sometimes they have to be here from 9 to 5 or longer than that, and so they allow them to bring, you know, their close friends or family onto campus if they're needing that. To feel a bit more welcome here, but it can get out of hand if you're having random people that's got nothing to do with
that's what I'm saying.
here.
That's why we do encourage people to wear their lanyards, and then if you were to have an external with you, it's okay. Like sometimes we do have like the security guards or the police officer going around and checking, and if you were to say to them, look, this is my friend from Bradford College, he's here with me, they would be okay with that. It's only when it comes to like if they were causing an issue or disruption, then they would be like, no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave, because if they're invited as a guest, that's fine, but they have to still respect our rules in that sense.
They do, because like when someone comes into the student union, I've seen it where like they try to come and get like a PS4, because we played the PS4.
Whoa.
I've seen it so many times. Like they're trying to get a PS4, and like, the receptionist is like, you need a student card, and they're like, I don't have it on me. Can you just give it to me? I think they had it one time, and then they didn't believe them again after that. So yeah, it's just like stuff like that. It's like they can take you can accept it because there's a lot of home students, and I'm not disregarding them. There's a lot of home students, and they live around this area, and I'm not going to just say, oh, you can't connect to the community, because there are a lot more home students than there are away students. So you can't disagree with them saying that, oh, I can't bring my mom here, I can't bring my dad here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, you can, but it's like when you're bringing random strangers who can almost take advantage of the situation, and then we get hurt by it, and it's gonna be like the trust is then broken.
Mm-hmm.
So how can you say like, yeah, we can trust these people? How can you, I don't know, have a fine line, I don't know, like not to cross it, like between the community and the students, and making sure that trust is still there. What would you say?
I think that is difficult. That's why some campuses have the zero tolerance policy, where it's actually really hard to get in unless you have your card, unless you scan your card at every single entrance.
Yeah.
But our university is obviously different because, like you said, taking into account that we have a lot of home-based students, so it's different. We don't want everyone to feel like they can't come and see what the university is all about. So it's difficult. I think what we have been trying to encourage students to do is to wear their lanyards more often, and perhaps in the future there may be some sort of zero tolerance on having anyone on campus that doesn't have a visitor's badge or doesn't have their lanyard, if that's the only way that we can see for our students to feel safe.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anyway, we're coming up to the last bit now. Would you guys have any last advice for the students out there? Just anything?
Yeah, wear your lanyards.
It would
be very helpful if you would it's just for your own safety. If you could just wear your lanyard, like we expect staff to do it, and it's not an expectation upon students, but it is encouraged. So yeah.
Please wear your lanyard. Ayman, what do you say? Do you have any more?
I think if you have to travel when it's darker, try and keep a mate with you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't walk around by yourself, especially in car parks, because they're dodgy areas. And I think flip it around, if you're making other people feel unsafe, then be careful, because you could get in trouble. We have a lot of cameras around.
Be aware of yourself. Like, legit, be aware of yourself, because I've been caught that way as well. Surprisingly, out near the car park barrier, I was walking my friend home, me and my other friend, and it's a girl and me and another guy, and we stopped, and then we was talking, and we were just behind this little bush, and then I heard like the teleprompter just go off. Hey miss, are you okay? I'm like, I was like, who is this? And it's actually the security guard, and we looked up, there's a camera just pointing right at us. I was like, holy snap, that's actually good, but I was like, I need to be aware of myself as well, because that makes sense. So guys, be aware of yourself.
And I just want last point I just wanted to make was if anyone ever feels unsafe and they don't feel comfortable in talking to maybe a police officer as a security guard, just know that the sabbatical officers are also here for you guys, and feel free to approach 100%. Anyone in the union.
100%. Come and find these guys if you guys have any questions, have any ideas to change or anything like that. These guys are approachable. Don't worry about it. They're not that scary. Promise you. Anyway, thank you guys for coming. This has been your UBU cast. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Say
Bye
goodbye.
everyone. Thanks for listening.
Thank you guys, and peace.